Okay, it's finally the last working day. I'm leaving late, so I'm a little paranoid, not gonna lie. But there's technically no work for us to be done. I already completed my textbook, so that's that. And there's no point in going into the office. The kids aren't here, and no one's checking like anything, so it's kind of weird that I still feel like they'll want us to come in and like do something, so just gonna come in and like sit down. But yeah, I'm really enjoying my time here in China. I'm really enjoying my time here, and I hope I get to stay for a long time. I hope they don't like drag us out or kick us out, because that's the direction things seem to be going in sometimes. But I don't. I feel like nobody knows what's going on. I'm gonna go walk and go get some water. But yeah, I'm hoping that this Chinese New Year is I finally get to see like how everything like really is. The first time that I came, or Chinese New Year 2020, um, that's when the virus came out. But I went to like a pretty small city with my boss's family. But now, this year, I think I'm gonna go do something with my girlfriend's family, but in like the actual city. So it's not gonna be a really small place. So I hope I get to see like some really cool like traditional things. But I don't know, maybe certain things are blocked, like you're not supposed to use fireworks, but apparently some people still do. So it's like they're kind of like illegal, yet you can like find them. And I actually think that's how, like, when people say like things aren't very free here, I will give. There's like a pro China like YouTube group kind of. I feel like, and although I feel like it's stupid just to be like, oh my God, look, I'm in China, so then that means like all the other like factual things that are like all of the other like factual negative political things, or I don't know, human rights issues, right, aren't like real, because like I'm walking around and it's sunny and it's like nice outside. But yeah, I will say that it's not like what most people would think, because you can break the rules. I feel like the issue is like too many people can't break the rules. For example, like for internet, if you want to go and use like Instagram or Twitter, whatever, you can get a VPN, and then if you're a local, you can do the same thing. But if everybody does it, then that's an issue. I mean, some people need it literally to work, and then like you'll never hear about anyone getting in trouble for it. Like I never. And it's the same thing with like things that you aren't supposed to do, like fireworks, and sometimes it's like COVID restrictions. But you can actually, like, I think like there's a lot of restrictions. Even training centers, for example. Like I still know people that they're still doing it. There's still people that private tutor, both locals and both like foreign. So I think that the government, they kind of restrict a lot of things, but but they still give you room to break the rules without any like repercussions. So I feel like that's why things are in some ways like a little crazy, because like I don't know, even with visa stuff, right? Like you're almost allowed to break the rules up to a certain point. So going back on to like why and like the station, right? Why we have to go register, right? It might be because so many people broke the rules. But I guess the question is, if it's that important, then why let so many people break the rules, right? Like why allow people to like bribe officials and stuff to like get a passport that like there's no way for you to get? And then why make the game, I don't know, or life just a matter of how many people you know and how many connections you have in your city. Okay, so I'm out right now. As you can see, the kids are still doing something. Not sure what it is, but okay. Hey guys. Oh, there we go. Hey guys. So today, from today's video, I wanted to talk more about the relationship that you may find yourself having with your employer in China if you're teaching English. It's funny. I guess first it depends on if you have a foreign employer or if you have like a Chinese employer, or if it's like a couple in terms of like someone who has a Chinese spouse and then it's like, I don't know, foreign relationship. So the dynamic, it always seems to be that whatever you're promised or whatever you're told about the job, it eventually something will happen where what they said is not true. I need to put on my mask. Maybe it's the working time that you're promised. You're told you have a certain working time and then that doesn't happen. Or maybe it has to do with your salary, and there's so many ways for like your employer to take your salary. There are so many reasons and reasonings that I don't even look at salary as something that's stable in China. I kind of look at myself being here and like it's like an investment. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe things are going good financially, so then you get more. Maybe things are going bad. But I look at it as an investment in that the return might not be what you thought it was. There are some contracts, there are some employers that have all sorts of tricks and things to kind of take advantage of you. For example, for this job, I was told that the working time would be 9:10 to 3:55. The real working time, it changes depending on the summer schedule or the winter schedule, but it's never been that. And you end up working maybe, I think, an hour or so longer than they said you would. Another thing is they are constantly asking us to work during our lunch break, or work after, or come in earlier or leave later. And if you reject it enough, they kind of will like take some of your salary. You can fight it. It's a difficult thing. Sometimes the way that you do it is you show up late, or you don't go, or you skip things, or you see what everybody else is doing. But luckily it doesn't usually affect the whole salary, as in like they don't take it from your salary, they take it from like a bonus or something else. But there's other employers who will be like, okay, I'll pay you like 20,000 for 20 classes a week, or like 20 hours a week of teaching. But let's say the classes are like 50 minutes long, 45 minutes long. Some employers, they're so smart that you'll teach like one block, right? You'll teach like a 1 hour block. But because it's not the full time, they'll calculate like the 45 minutes or the 50 minutes instead of calculating that time as 1 hour, right? It will never be like you teach a class and then you teach another class, even though there's a little break. It's never like that, right? But they'll still calculate it as if it was. So it seems like the dynamic is always that teachers are like paranoid that they're being lied to, or that they're being tricked in some way. And I think with things being so unorganized and how it is, to some degree it's true, but after a certain point, I think like, yeah, it's not true. Like people are just like too paranoid, too something. But there, if you don't like know Chinese and you don't really have like an insider, or you don't know anyone that is like Chinese that can kind of tell you how things work and if they're lying to you or not, right? You can like believe all sorts of weird things. Like some people think this school is making us like write textbooks because like they're gonna like kick us out this country, like China's trying to get rid of all foreigners. Some are like scared like the school might close down. Some don't really know what to think. Some hear like there's new restrictions regarding like the virus, that it means like there's secretly cases here but like nobody is telling us. Like there's all sorts of things like that. And I think like the issue is that you can never really talk to your employer. Like they're not like straight up with you, right? They're not direct. They like kind of go around, and I don't know if it's something negative or they have to tell you something negative, they don't tell you that directly. Sometimes like they surprise you. Sometimes like let's say if they schedule something that we would disagree with, and then instead of telling us, right, they wait till the last minute and then tell us, so that we have like no chance of like complaining about it or something. So yeah, the relationship that you have with your employer. Yeah, I haven't heard of any like places that really are like, nobody is like super out to get you and like take advantage of you, or some places are, but like usually there's even like a limit. For example, you can only have one job in China, but some places like ask that you go like do demo classes and try to like find other students like kind of like illegally, and then when you get caught by the police, you have to like, you're like detained for some time, but then like the school is like nice enough to like pay the fine, so it's like not that intense. So there's like push and pull, give and take, but yeah. Okay, just got my food, so I'm leaving now. But so that's the whole dynamic. Nobody really knows what's going on, and sometimes people don't tell you things. And
hey, watch out!
oh, hello. I'm just vlogging.
He wanted to do a snatch.
Oh, I see.
Oh no, I would come on Droid this way, then he could sort of come down and take the phone.
Where are you guys going? Where are you guys coming from?
Just been eating.
Oh, I see.
Are you online?
No, I just like to record YouTube now. Right now I'm doing a video on like the relationship that you find yourself having with your employer in China, and that like sometimes like you don't know if what you're being told is true, and then like there's always some part in the contract or your understanding of what things will be like that isn't actually true.
Are we in this video now? Like, are we?
Huh?
Are we
No, this is, I'm recording it and then I like edit it.
Oh, okay. So you won't put us in it.
No.
The things we have to say about.
Oh, do you want to get in here? You have something to say?
You should be interviewing this.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's interesting, like when I tell people all these stories, like back in the States, it's like, it's so weird, like how things have become so normal that it like puts you back in like the state of mind that like, yeah, that's like not good, and like that's not normal behavior for me to be like, yeah, they're just like taking 1,000 and that's normal.
They're just what?
I don't know, like they didn't like this and they're gonna like, they have this reason to like do this, or like, you know.
Yeah, no, it's what you're talking about is when people by degrees get used to things which are downright fucking unfair or totalitarian, right? Because they were introduced to it by degrees. Is that what you're
yeah, kinda. I mean, just like being in China, you know, you get used to things.
Are you into? No, I won't say philosophy. There's a channel online on YouTube called Academy of Ideas.
Academy of Ideas.
And look up the one about psychosis, of mass psychosis.
Mass psychosis.
Or menticide.
Menticide.
Menticide, which is just murdering of the mental faculties of man.
Okay,
Each
we'll
one's
do.
about 10, 12 minutes long.
Will do.
You just said there exactly what they're saying.
Gotcha. How you doing, Brett? How's this moving? I'll turn
Yeah,
it off. Just missed the building, so there you go. Something new is always being built. That's what I like. So, even if things feel boring sometimes, there's always a sense of like something new is coming. And you always have like a nice, like really beautiful view of the mountains and stuff. And as you can see, it's Chinese New Year, so they're decorating the street lights. I guess for me, I haven't really felt too festive like last Chinese New Year because of the virus, right? I guess you would think everyone stays up and then they like count down, but it is not like that. So I'm hoping this year it's like a little more like lively. Yeah, I went out at midnight and I was like, I bet there's gonna be like fireworks and there's celebration and everything, but I think everyone like literally just eats and then they go to sleep. So we'll see. Maybe the fun in it is like you get to see your family that you haven't seen for a long time, like during the whole thing. So I don't know if it's like just one specific night or if it's just the whole like the whole break. At the station right now. So last year I haven't seen all this like craziness because I didn't like travel, and everybody else has their like, because training centers aren't lined up with like when the government is, and there's just like so many people right now. But yeah, came into the station. Apparently you might need a test to like leave or something, or maybe they're asking for tests. And then I didn't have one. I'm so surprised that they let me through. So I guess sometimes it goes both ways in that like, you know, you don't have the card and the like you're different than everybody else, and that you don't have like the identity card. And because like China's very good at like using things on your phone and like technology and stuff, when you don't have that card or you don't have something, people can become very like confused. So I guess it goes both ways in that like maybe foreigners are harder to regulate because nobody knows how to do it. And then Yiwu is a city where there's a lot of foreigners, so they're kind of integrated into the city. It's like known to have a lot of foreigners, but I mean, like so with other places. But maybe the difference is that we're all condensed into one area because this city is like super small. Like so, it's not like Shanghai where Shanghai is like super big. So like everybody's like everywhere, right? But like this city, it's just like. Maybe there's like a 10-kilometer radius of like all the markets, of all the shops, all the bars and everything. So I think that's the difference. But yeah, it was a interesting day. I got my fruit, as you can see over here. We were all thinking we were gonna get like money from the school, like because they give like the hongbao, but we got it at the beginning of the semester and then now we get through. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Although unfortunately I'm allergic to nuts, and there's like a bunch of nuts, so yeah. Everything's pretty much the same. I got sprayed when I came in, like with like the COVID stuff. I don't know, we're like spraying everybody as you go through. So yeah. I think there's our train coming here. Always construction. Endless construction. I guess that's a good sign though. And construction on the mountain, that's actually pretty cool. Yes it is. Alright, I'm on the train. I just forgot that I purchased, what is it, the next level up. There's like the normal tickets, and then there's, what do you call it? I guess first class, and then, what's the best? It's called business class, right? So this is first class. And I'm talking quieter because people are sleeping, but it's so much nicer. There's only 2 people on like a thingy. 2 people grouped together. there's more space, and it's like a lot more peaceful and a lot more quieter. Like during like Chinese New Year when there's so many people, right? It can be like pretty crazy. So, all right, just got off the train. Now I'm coming in. Just wanted to record how crazy things might be and what's going on. So it's been a pretty good day. Finally finished those textbooks. Well, actually no, I've been finished. And then it's kind of funny, but like you can't like leave, right? And they took a couple of days from our vacation in order for us to do these textbooks. But so we could all work where we wanted to. So some of us just like kind of like went back to our apartments like secretly. So that's that. So far it's not too bad. I would expect like so many people, but actually no. So this is new. After you leave, now there's another place where you need to like check your temperature and do stuff. So I just got through, and then let's see what happens when I go through here. Oh, yeah, let's see it. Okay, so apparently to get into go to the station, you have to do a COVID test. So that's new if you're from outside of the province. So I don't know how it is in other countries, just in general, but it's so funny because I'm always giving my information, always giving my passport number, my phone number, this and that, and this and that. And like when people will say like, oh, you know, like everything that you do and say in China, it's like being recorded, and you know they're gonna come find you and stuff. Like if that was true, I would not have to put in my information like 35 times, like no, maybe like 100 times in a new system, a new thing, a new app, like from per the government. So okay, so that wasn't too bad, you know, with the exception that I feel like depending on who does the test, some of them like really are in the back of your throat and it's like painful. Some of them, they just do it a little and then you're fine. So that was one of the painful ones, but it's quick, you come through, and it's like not that inconvenient. I like that. I like that. The world, we should do that. Not gonna lie, we should do that probably in the States. Something like this, but. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie right now. I'm not really feeling the festivity, so to speak. It's a nice day and a nice night. It's really nice at this time because you get to see like the outline of the mountains and stuff. And then, like I said, like Shongrao's buildings are just really beautiful. Just the color of the lights and how organized and how like it feels very modern, but at the same time you can still find like nature, and those are like the places that I tend to like. But yeah, I don't know, there's no decorations. That's one thing. I don't know, it's hard to explain how like I guess vacations work in China, and I think it's maybe all because of the virus, but it seems like it's just very different because everyone isn't off at the same time. And like, you know, there's like people who work like Christmas and stuff, and there's people who work like other holidays, but I don't know, still I think like people are very hardworking, and there's still the sense that of work. For example, like even at our school, like some of the teachers, I mean, that's one thing. The teachers are always like when if you're like a teacher in China, when you have vacation, then like your friends and your family will ask you to like tutor their kids during the summer. And then like in some ways it's like weird or bad to say no. So like you're always teaching. I mean, you're always working on the art of the craft. But like at our school, even like some of the administration that has to like deal with like foreigners and stuff, even they're like saying like, yeah, we'll be available like during like the Chinese New Year if you need us to do anything. So it's still like, wow, it's kind of sad. Like everybody's still working, you know. So yeah, it is what it is. But I don't know. I hope to get some good footage of, you know, how things are. My girlfriend, she only has a week off, just 1 week, like biggest holiday, and it's only 1 week. That's I can't even like imagine. So, but we'll see. Okay, this is kind of dangerous. This is what I call like driving on the wrong side of the road. We got construction here, but apparently you can still drive in this direction. Maybe. Yeah, they closed off the road, but you can still go on the opposite way. That's kind of dangerous. More construction, always construction. Yeah, maybe in another city, or maybe like I don't know, in Shanghai, there's more stuff. That's why I want to travel, but with all the restrictions and stuff, it's kind of like, eh. But you know what? Maybe I will, because actually, no, probably won't. Probably won't. Don't want to get stuck anywhere. So I have to wait until another time. But there's always like the weekend, so that gives like enough time to do stuff. Yeah, you know, it's like the holiday time, and it always makes me wonder, like, what is it like being like a local, and you know, what does the holiday like mean to you? And like, I don't know, what is like the work life and like really like? And I don't know, just looking at the teachers at my school, it appears to be like you work a really long time, but you can like, you have a lot of classes, you know, you're not on your phone a lot, but then like you kind of, at the same time, you can be on your phone a lot. Like there's a lot more flexibility in the class. Like imagine that, like you're teaching and like the States, and then all of a sudden like you need to like make a phone call or something, or like something happens and you just stop the class. That's what it's kind of like here, which I guess, you know, it makes things work, right? You know, it makes it more flexible. Things are stricter a little bit. You have to work longer in a longer period of time, but there's more flexibility in like what you can do. And that's what's like really interesting about like the society here. Yeah, it seems like they get up, they wake the kids up at like 6:50, right? And then they get off at like 7, and then I think they spend time with their family, they eat, and then I think after that they're probably like on their phone, and that's when you have like time for fun and stuff. And then I think they sleep like really late. That's just a feeling that I get. Because other than that, like what time do you have to like even do anything? Right? You know, after you work, you know, you want to come home and just like de-stress a little bit and then like relax. But then that time is like pushed back, like super late. So that kind of energy, you know, that kind of like willpower to do all of that, I think you need something outside of just trying to get money to like do it. But yeah, because you know, like the houses are so expensive, and you know, people have to save money a lot. But even with that, still, I mean, there's got to be something to it. I think it's like a sense of like the future is always getting better and better and better, and you know, like the GDP and everything really is. So yeah. I think here's the decorations, like that the lights turn on near the river, and then the buildings like have other lights too. But